Sorensen. I'm joined here by Shivani from Contentstack, and I'm from Smartling. We're here to talk to you today about a new enhancement we've made to one of our existing integrations with Contentstack, and we're going to go through just a quick product release here that you guys can be excited about. I've been with the company here about 2.5 years. I'm the product manager over our integration products, so I get the pleasure of working with all of our technical partnerships and various teams, various companies. And one of those is Contentstack, who we're working with today. And Shivani, do you want to take a few minutes and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey all, this is Shivani, product manager here at Contentstack, primarily leading the marketplace initiative. Super glad to be here, and thank you, Stephen and Smartling, for giving us this opportunity. I look forward for the coming up session and working with you all or answering your questions in the Q&A session. Thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani. All right, so real quick before we jump into the new product, just a quick intro to Smartling. So Smartling is a translation company. We focus on translation technology and translation services. So our technology allows us to provide a translation management system that's great for project management and all of the great translation features that you need to manage large-scale translation operations. It also has great APIs, and we use those APIs to build connectors and integrations into popular content repositories. So, as a customer, you may be working in a content management system like Contentstack, or you may be working in marketing automation or, code repositories as a developer. And all that content needs to be translated, and we build these integrations essentially to easily transfer the content from one system into our system, translate it using visual context and translation memory reuse in various aspects of our translation system. And then we can deliver those translations and publish those back into those content repositories. So that's a quick introduction to us. I think let's have Shivani maybe take a few minutes and introduce the Contentstack.
Sure. So Contentstack is primarily an API for CMS solution built on cloud native architecture and optimized for the microservices approach. Contentstack sits right at the middle of content creation and content delivery disciplines, helping you decouple both the experiences. This cloud native microservices approach gives you the ability to always select industry's best solutions to integrate with the CMS rather than being limited to what a traditional CMS may support. With 98% customer retention and 97% willingness to recommend, we are known in the industry as leaders and pioneers, achieving the highest rankings in the new wave of CMS across Forrester, IDC, and Argonne Research. Whether you go to G2 Crowd or Gartner Peer Insights, you will see how successful and how happy our customers are with Contentstack, and we stand for the best customer success experience in the industry, and we pride a lot over it. Today's Smartling integration is actually built by Smartling using our microservices combined with Smartlings. Let's not waste any time and learn more about this now, and quickly over to you, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani, for the intro to Contentstack there. So Contentstack is a strong partner of ours. We've been working together for about a year now. We do have an existing integration, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit before we talk about all this new enhancement, a new thing we have. Essentially, we have built an integration for joint customers that are both Contentstack and Smartling customers that allows them to integrate their Contentstack environment with Smartling and be able to automate, the translation process, be able to extract content from there, send it up to our system, and then translate it and push it back out to Contentstack and publish it. Now, all of this is done via our project interface inside of Smartling. So all of the UI and controls live inside of Smartling. So if you want to, request translation and start a translation process, you have to navigate into Smartling, into this your particular project, and then you can, filter and sort and basically search for the content you want to initiate. You can also see if it's been translated before, so you have translation visibility and status there. But you essentially would select these items and send it for a requested translation process. It's not done from within Contentstack, it's done from within Smartling. And this is great for, localization managers and localization teams because they're used to being in Smartling and they're used to, all of the translation features and the various translation, workflows and translation memory and, all of the various linguistic assets that go into setting up a project. And sometimes that can be a little bit cumbersome for an external user that's not on the translation team. So maybe it's a Contentstack author, creating content. They don't need to necessarily have all of those bells and whistles for the translation stuff. So they can kind of get a little bit bogged down by coming into our interface here and having to request translations when they're not used to it. The real idea of an integration is to get it right within where they're used to working, so they don't have to leave their native interface. And that's what really brings us to what is our new and improvements here is we're looking at basically a new extension of our integration. And the idea of this extension was to help content authors in Contentstack be able to initiate, receive translations, be able to interact with the translation process without ever having to leave their environment where they're creating content. So what we're looking at here is a Contentstack app that we've developed. It's built on the new Contentstack marketplace that their team is working on, and Shivani is going to share a few words in a little bit about that. So we'll have some more information. But on the marketplace, that we're able to launch this new app, and this new app lives inside of Contentstack. So this is an extension of our existing integration, and it allows users to submit translations into SmartLing, but directly from within Contentstack. So now they have the ability to, navigate to an entry, see exactly what the translation status is, and then basically they have the visibility of the translation. They can see which languages have been requested, which ones haven't been requested and are available for requesting, and then they can also see the exact translation progress per language. So they can now say, hey, our French is falling behind, or our Spanish is falling behind. I wonder what's going on there. They can kind of be aware of some of these, translation issues ahead of time. Also, it's very nice here because they don't, once they find a specific entry inside of Contentstack, it also is deep linked with SmartLink. So they can click into this little widget and it will pop open, and we'll be able to actually look at inside of SmartLink, we'll be able to look at the entry and where its overall translation status. And you'll have all of the normal feature set that you would have with our hosted integration. So that's a big point here, is it's an extension of our existing integration. It's not a standalone app, so it doesn't work by itself. You have to be a customer of both Contentstack and SmartLing, and you have to have Contentstack integration set up and configured. And then this is an app that basically extends our hosted integration into Contentstack UI. So it now allows the users to interact with the translation process. So essentially that's what we're building and releasing here, and I'll share more here in just a minute, but I wanted to give a few minutes to Shivani to walk us through this new Contentstack marketplace.
Sounds good. So Contentstack Marketplace is like a platform, you imagine it as a storefront or a visual storefront that's going to be available for all of our customers, from where you can easily install apps or any third-party integrations available, over the platform. So it's just a one-stop destination for apps, ready-made extensions, and one-click integrations with third-party tools. Marketplace makes actually it very easy and fast for our customers to discover and combine the best technology to achieve your desired business outcomes. As part of Marketplace, we are primarily launching two kinds of offerings, apps and starters. Apps are those, I was referring as easy installable third-party integrations, or we also are hosting a couple of Contentstack owned and built custom applications like RT applications, image editing suite, color picker suites, or any developer related applications. So it's going to be multiple different kinds of offerings that will be available as part of Marketplace. All these are very, very easily, few clicks installable solutions, and you can just start working with them, after the installation. We are also offering starters as part of Marketplace. So starters are essentially our Kickstarter templates. Upon installing, you'll get a predefined content models and entries addressing a specific use case. So for example, if you're a very new customer and want to try out Contentstack platform, you can just install these starters and you'll be provided with all the data readily within Contentstack, and you can experiment with it according to your own use case. So that's a very, very high level introduction of Marketplace. So we are launching Marketplace to all of our customers in the week of May 24th this month. So it's going to be available to all of our customers for usage. We are launching with a set of applications and starters at the beginning. We have approximately 10 to 15 apps and 5 to 7 starters already available in the platform. And we are continuously improving on, the solutions that are available as part of the platform. Our teams are working every day on adding new solutions in there, improving on the existing solutions. When we are also partnering with partners like SmartLink to integrate with Contentstack and provide applications and make them available in Marketplace for everyone's use. So if you are interested in learning more about Marketplace, or if you want to have early visibility, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to dive more deeper into it. One quick thing before ending our Marketplace related information, we are also launching automations tool early access program at the same time as Marketplace release. Automations is a new offering from our side. It is a role-based trigger and action system to automate tasks within Contentstack or with third parties. We have a SmartLink connector already built in the automations. So using that, now you can very, very easily build the integration or the translation flow between Contentstack and SmartLink within just few minutes and achieve your use case and start working over it. So we'll be also offering smart automations as part of the early access program to our customers. And if you are interested in it, we'll be able to also provide the solution for your experimentation and sort of testing around the platform. Again, if you have any more questions, or if you want to try out Marketplace and automations before they are widely available, please reach out to us. Or if you are if you're an existing our customer, please reach out to your customer success manager or sales POC. We'll be able to work with you and sort of enabling these products to you. And if you are a new customer, we're super excited to have you. Please reach out to us at information@contentstack.com, and we'll be taking it from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Shivani. Very excited to see the new Marketplace and see it launch. Just a kind of a bit of information. We're in the process of submitting our application to the new Marketplace. So that's in the process, and it should be available even before the launch in May. I mean, later in May. We'll have a beta version that can be used. If any of you are interested, please reach out to us as well. We can get you set up and installed and testing it and kind of get some feedback on it. So let us know if you're interested. I'd say the next thing I wanted to talk about is what is the road ahead with this? It's a widget really inside of Contentstack, and we after interviewing with a few clients and kind of gathering some information, we wanted to also add another piece of functionality that we feel is very important to these content authors. And so far, we've only really talked about translation status and the visibility of the translation and what's going on. But what happens now if these users get in there and they need to be able to initiate the translation? So they go and they look at an entry and there's no translation started. Well, we feel it's very important for the content authors in Contentstack to be able to initiate the translation also from within Contentstack. Not just providing them translation visibility, but allowing them to initiate and kick off the translation. So this new feature we're working on is a request translation. And if any of you are familiar with our existing integration, this may look familiar. It's a very familiar form, a request translation wizard or form here that will live within this new widget, this new application that we've developed. So when you go to a new entry, if it's not been requested for translation, you can hit a request button, and then you get this new form that allows you to provide a new job name or add it to an existing job. You can also include related or referenced assets that may be referenced inside of your entry. You can provide detailed job descriptions for the translation team. Special instructions maybe they need to consider, and then you would select the languages that you would like to translate. And as you fill out this form, you can then submit it and save it, and it kicks off a new job inside of that particular project inside of SmartLink. From there, a user would go and authorize. So that's coming soon. You can expect this to also be released by the time the Marketplace goes live. We'll have both versions ready to go by then, but this is our next kind of big feature we're working on. So like wanted to take a minute here, and if you have any questions, please send them over in the chat. We can review those. But while we're waiting on questions, I'll also just do a quick demonstration of, just a quick peek at the actual widget here. And let's jump over. Let me move. Okay, so imagine you are, a Contentstack user, and you've just kind of created a new entry here, and you're just, we have just a sample entry here with some text, various fields of text and so forth, and you want to be able to initiate. You want to be able to see the translation status, like you're interested to know if this has been translated, what languages is this available in. You have your language swapper up here. You can kind of see which languages you have configured in Contentstack, but how do you know which ones of those are actually live and have real translations living in them? So if someone had already requested translation for this entry, and you are ready to now understand and see where it's at, maybe you want to even hot link out to it real fast in SmartLink, you have this widget section that you can open up inside of Contentstack. And this will pull open basically a form, and this is our SmartLink widget. And this will pull up a form that allows you to see the translation status for any of those languages that have been requested. So here you can see we've already translated German, it's been requested, and it's completed. The Spanish is in progress. So it's not fully translated here, but then yet we have an Italian down here that's completed with translations. You can also see the other languages that are configured on the SmartLink project. And these languages are ones that you could request, you could also pass along with your request. So you have an idea of which ones it's missing and which ones it has. And you can easily, link out to this. Let's say you needed to go and dive into more on something that's happening inside of SmartLink. You needed more detailed information. You can really quickly hot link out to this. And now you actually see the content details, which it's just basically like an overview of that entire entry and where it's been submitted, and what the translation progress is. Does it have context? Various things like that. So all the important information you need about more detailed information, anyways, about what you need. So inside of Contentstack, here's, this is where you would also initiate the translation. I'm not going to go through the whole thing today. I'm just basically giving you a look at this. But if we were to request translation, we have our form here where we can add to an existing job, or we can create a new job. And again, we've already kind of went through this in the slides. So essentially, you now have, anything that's happening in the translation connector inside of SmartLink, this widget's going to pick that up and be able to report back onto it. It sends its requests to the other integration, and basically they work together to solve this use case of being able to bring the translation controls and capabilities down into Contentstack here. So that's all we have for today. Let's jump over and see if we have any questions here. Let's see. Okay, one of the questions is this available? Will this be available for all Contentstack users? And I would say it's only available for existing users that use our existing integration. So if you're a Contentstack user and a SmartLink user, and you have the existing integration set up, this is meant to aid and enhance that. It's not able to be used on its own as a standalone product. See if there's any other questions there. I think that's all we have. So thank you all for joining us today, and appreciate you guys coming and listening to us about our new product updates, and we'll be excited to share some new stuff in the future. Thank you, Shivani, for joining us. And did you have any final words you'd like to say?
No, I'm super happy for this opportunity. I'm super excited about this integration and marketplace initiative as a whole. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar today and hearing out and having information into the new integration. We look forward to working with you guys. Thank you so much, Steven, again. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day, guys. See ya.